as the sound of the whistle blows. And Baker to start things off for the evening. And we are underway in Reynolds Gymnasium in the first swing of the match. Williams takes her first shot at it. And the point favors towards the Deacons. A strong start for these two squads. Wake Forest returns home after they were traveling on the road. They took a trip out west to play Cal and Stanford with a long swing, and it's good. Paige Crawford with the second kill of the evening. A trip out west that head coach Randy Smart, her 6th season at the helm, mentioned was a fun one. It was a homecoming reunion and a first time out into California for a lot of her players, and it was a great way to see a different style of volleyball. As Keefe takes a long shot and it falls in favor, kisses the line. Point favoring Duke for the first score of the evening. Meanwhile, Duke coming off of 2 losses, both against UNC, a rotating between home and away matchup. A little bit of a disappointing finish as Williams has the serve. Goes a little long and bounces off of the forearms of Maruska. Tied ball game. Head coach Joan Lee Nagel, her 25th season at the helm, had prior stints at Cornell and Georgetown. Said it was a little bit disappointing and they need to clean things up, including their attacks, and being a little more smart in plays such as that as Duke takes the lead. Rachel Richardson with the serve. Has 10 service aces, make it 11. Long swing from Baker. Just falls wayside. The team identity for Duke coming into this matchup, and it's something that was lacking a little bit luster in Carolina, was being a strong in the pins and taking sufficient swings is necessary. As a great rally so far, and Williams with the strike falls in favor of Duke. Goss on the assist. The Blue Devils on a 3-0 scoring run. Williams with the serve once more. Big strike by Grkovic. The slide comes in. Just a little bit too much gas, but it falls in play. 4-0 scoring on. Williams to serve once more. She hasn't left that position since, and finally has a service error to snap that 6-0 scoring run. Finally, Wake Forest gets their chance. Stepping behind the service line is Paige Crawford, the Wimberley, Texas native. 7th in the conference for service aces per set, the strong suit for the squad. Gives a quick serve with that back left corner on the sights. Great blocking effort from Maruska on the far left corner. However, Goss splits the difference. Bad serving was another focus point of the back-to-back matches against the Tar Heels, and certainly has been corrected so far as Libero Godshall sent it over. And yet another point favoring for Duke. Wake Forest not necessarily being able to solve things, and it forces Smart to call a timeout, an early timeout as that. First one of the evening. Both of these teams sit pretty evenly matched against each other. Wake Forest stands at 9 in ACC play overall. Meanwhile, Duke is 2-3 on the regular. And Wake Forest is the first team to take the floor. Everybody dressed in pink. It is the Dig Pink game in honor of breast cancer awareness. Heather Holmes a former assistant for the Wake Forest team, unfortunately lost her battle to breast cancer a few years back, and her husband and Coach Smart both working together to give out an award every single year, the Tenacity Award, this year awarded to Kalani Willock. As the serve comes across, and it's an attack error from Wake Forest. Crawford not necessarily correct on the swing, and Godshall keeps possession. The hop of the serve into the net, and that ends the scoring run for Duke. But Kalani Willock was team captain the last 2 years and third on the roster in total digs. Earned the Tenacity Award as she embodies everything that Coach Holmes would have wanted in a player. As the big swing comes from Keefe. And a quick poke out by Murphy on the far right side. Another long strike by Goss. And a strong block at the net. Back-to-back points for Wake Forest. Krikovic, the Rutgers transfer, led Rutgers in hit percentage for the second season in a row and posted the 6th best attack percentage in team history, and make it 3 this time. Charles with the solo kill right at the top of the net. Charles last season was second on the team in total blocks with 80. And a quick little jump from that far left corner by Rachel Richardson. A smart decision as she found open floor behind the middles. Stepping back to service Keefe, the left-handed hitter. Another quick tap by Crawford. And a misfire from Penn. Gives chance for subs to make their way onto the floor. Farrell re-enters the game. And the first appearance of the evening is Layla Ricks, a graduate student, a transfer from Maryland from the Big Ten. However, Riley Cadell on that near side corner taking advantage of the space. Richardson to serve. And it's dished over. Maruski to send it. Williams. However, Williams placed it ever so perfectly right outside of that middle line. Just a little too far out of reach for Crawford to keep it in the air. Richardson once more sends it over. And it's a quick tap by Ricks on the right side. Great volley back and forth with one another. Keefe with the strike, and it's off the touch. Just a little too far out of reach for that back line to make something happen. Again, another scoring run for the Blue Devils. Richardson again. And a big swing by Maruski. Breaks the scoring streak for Duke. Another 3-0 scoring run snapped by Maruska on that far right side. And the serve. Williams, however, she's met by 2 defenders on that far left corner. Leave it to Wake to do what they're best at, and that's blocking on that far right corner. Grikovic and Charles on the efforts. And a little bit too long of a serve. As Maruska steps off. And subbed in by Kalani Willock. Big swing from Charles. Great recovery on that back line. Williams on the far left corner, and it's a solo block. By Willock. Farrell with the serve. Penn sets up for Cato. Strong swing, Crawford on the response. Godshaw with the dig, sets up Williams. Great rally back and forth and a quick dump by Bellows. However, quick on their feet was Godshaw. Long strike by Ricks, targeting that back right corner, and it's Williams. Solid efforts back and forth from both sides. And the ricochet off of Godshaw gives a broken play, forcing just a free ball over the net. And a long strike finishes it off of Grikovic. Great back and forth action between both teams, and the grad transfer finishes it off. Wake Forest within 3. Farrell once more, just a little too much gas, and Keefe was all over that one with the communication. Back to a 4-point span. Penn with the serve. Crawford swings wide. Just a little too much gas once more. A lot of controlling need to be done here. It's been a lot of Duke energy so far in this first set. 5-point span, the largest lead we've seen thus far, with Penn sending it over once again. Quick little swing from Grikovic to send it right back over. And it's Keefe. Strong efforts, miscommunication as players dive in for one another. Broken play gives the free ball, and it's Goss who takes advantage of the open floor. 17-11. And forces yet another timeout by Randy Smart, her second and final one of this set. Wake Forest having a lot of veterans return, 10 of which in a trio of juniors that have played in every match since the fall of 2020. And the timeout resumes, and Penn with the serve sends it right on over to that back line. And a long swing from Ricks on the far right corner, just a little too wide. And the first point coming out of the timeout in favor of Duke, not necessarily what those timeouts are meant for, as Wake Forest looking to crawl back from the 7-point deficit. Penn sends it across once more. A long swing from Crawford, again, just a little too wide. Duke really taking advantage of just a lot of power coming from those right side hitters. Part of the right side hitting capability is a strong identity for the Demon Deacons, uncharacteristic of them right now, as the float of the serve sends over. Keefe not able to get a hold of it. Finally, Wake breaking the scoring run. It was a 5-0 scoring run. Wake has not seen one since. Multiple opportunities to do so, but have not been able to string points together, either if it's been a little too long of a serve or just too far wide of a hit as it comes across the net. This time with Williams on the far right corner. Penn sets up, and it's Goss in the middle. There was a touch. A little too long, and Wake keeps the possession arrow. Ryan Baker, a Rolling Meadows, Illinois native, to send it over. Targets Godshall in that far back, and it's a service ace for her. A little bit of gas being poured into Reynolds Gymnasium at the moment. A miscue that Wake was looking for. Baker once more. Penn sends it over, a broken play. Forces Farrell to just hit it across. Long swing from Williams, and it's a block at the net for Wake. Rakes on the efforts. Baker back behind the line. Finally a 4-0 scoring run. The first of the evening for the Demon Deacons. And she targets Godshall again. And a long swing from Goss in the far left corner, but the back line's got it handled. Farrell sets up Grikovic. Sends it right on over. Williams once more. And it's a quick dump by Baker. Smart decision as she floats it over the tape. 5 points in a row. Closes the gap to a 3-point difference. Baker once more. And as to be expected, Coach Nagel calls a timeout to get a little bit of things under control. Upperclassmen from graduate transfers to fresh legs on the deck. As the timeout finishes up, and Baker once more looking to make this a 6-0 scoring run, and it's a quick dump over from Goss, and she kills that scoring run. Finally at the 20-point mark for Duke. Williams steps back to serve, the Mountain View, California native, transferred in from St. Francis. Hits it right on over. Crawford with the strike. Godshall sets up for Keefe, and Keefe finds open space right in front of Farrell, who couldn't get quite enough close to it. It's back to a 5-point difference. Williams, with 7 total blocks and 7 service aces on the season, sends it over. And Crawford finishes it off. She was on the slide on that far back left corner along with Murphy. As Santer steps off, and Maruska finds herself on the floor. Stepping back for the serve is Crawford. In 2023, she led the team in total kills, service aces, and was 4th on the roster in digs and blocks. Richardson on the far right corner takes advantage of a left corner open space. Makes it a 22-point total for Duke. Godshall with the serve. Last game at Carolina, finished it off with 3 service aces, leading the team for the afternoon as she sends it across. And it's a quick kill from Grikovic on the assist with Baker. Wake Forest starting to finally find their groove late in this first set. Grikovic with the serve. The Heather Holmes Tenacity Award recipient tonight. As a mishit from Goss, just a little too far down and into the net. Closes the gap just a little more. The small things turning into big opportunities and points for Wake Forest, trying to crawl back into this one. Grikovic with the serve. Penn sets up. Keefe on the swing. And a quick little tap from Maruska on the near side. Keefe once more, and it's hers. Duke within 2. wanting to close this off. The Pacific Palisades, California native steps back, stands at 5'3", and last season finished second team all ACC as she sends it across. And a long swing from Murphy on the far side. A little bit of back and forth, forces a free ball, and it's Kate out with the swing. Just a little too much gas, falls wayside. And Wake Forest is within 3. Couple of subs in and out. As Becca Bello steps back to serve, the Wheaton, Illinois native. A freshman who reached the program 1,000 assists club in 2023 back in high school. As she sends it across. A little bit of an awkward touch, no fear for Richardson though. And the corner coverage gets the job done. Ricks in on the action along with Charles, makes it a 2-point game for set 1. Bellows with the hop and the jump. And an awkward touch by Richardson as Wake within 1 forces a second timeout to be called by Nagel. The Deacons digging deep, and they find themselves within 2. Meanwhile, the Deeks are crawling back with a 1-point span between each other on a 3-0 scoring run. At one point, 6 points was between these two squads. However, the Deeks have fought back and have played gritty volleyball. As the serve comes across by Baker. Finds Gottschall in that far back left. And a net violation makes it set point for Duke, and uncharacteristic, and a little bit too much excitement at the net for Wake Forest. Puts the serve in Richardson's hands. She sends it over. And it's Maruska on the near side. Richardson pokes it back from that far back row. Maruska once more on the far right pin. They've got a touch. Within 1 again. Still set point. A couple of subs make their way onto the floor, including Santer, who snags the ball for the serve. Jamie Santer, the Toronto, Canada native, a transfer from Hawaii, has played in 31 sets so far and has a 132 hit percentage, along with 1 service ace this season. She sends it across, finds Gottschall in that far back row. And it's Goss on the near side. Back and forth, Crawford punches it over. Williams, and she's got it, make it set 1, all blue and white. That second timeout coming at a crucial point for the Blue Devils. And Duke takes it away, 25 to... As she sends it across, and set 2 is underway. Long swing from Ricks on the near side, and the first point falls in favor of the home team. A change in pace, and definitely how they wanted to start off set 1, but nonetheless are back in it. As Maruska steps back for the serve. She has 14 service aces this season. She sends it across. On the setup, it's Goss. Far left corner is Crawford. And the signal of the whistle from an error on behalf of Wake ties things up early on. Taylor Williams in high school was an AVCA girls high school second team All-America selection as she sends it across. And a miscommunication on the far edge of the net between Charles and Grikovic is yet another error. A little bit too light of a tap from Charles. As Williams steps back to serve once more to float across the tape. As Ricks pokes it right back over. Goss once more. She makes contact with the net. gets a little bit tied up and the whole crowd silences themselves. Olivia Frankie sees her first couple of minutes in the game. She was slow to get up. The graduate student from McLean, Virginia. As the serve comes back across once more. Once again, another broken play in favor of Wake Forest. They capitalize on the opportunity. Charles with the kill. As Grikovic returns back to the floor. Emma Farrell, the Norcross, Georgia native, with 4 service aces on the season, sends it across. Gotcha on that back row, doing the work. And it's Richardson with the long swing. Wake Forest ties things up. The hitting percentage for either team, Wake ended set 1 with just under 100 at .098. Meanwhile, Duke 125, and the difference being in the amount of assists. The Blue Devils finishing off with 14 assists in set 1. Meanwhile, the Deacons only with 2 as that one sends into the net. A service error on behalf of Farrell puts Duke up by 1. Keefe sails it over and the swing goes wide, and back-to-back service errors ties things up. As Baker steps out onto the floor in addition to Murphy. Olivia Murphy, the Indianapolis, Indiana native, redshirted last season due to injury. And last game had 4 kills and 1 dig. As Baker sends it across. Baker, the lead server, that was part of that scoring run in the first set. As the swing comes from Crawford on the far left side. Keefe, and it's a block by Baker and Crawford. Wake up by 1 at a crucial time. The slide worked in favor with Crawford and Grikovic. As it comes back through, Baker once more. Long swing. As it's Keefe with the light zap. Forces the swing from Crawford. Just a little too much gas. As Carrie Keefe steps back to serve. She's one of 2 sisters who have played who plays volleyball. The other plays at Stanford. Lots of D1 ties in her family. As the solo block comes from Cadell on the far edge of the tape. Ping pongs over and just a little too much for Meir to get a touch on it. Millie Meir makes her first appearance of the evening in 2023, played in 15 matches, 23 sets as a setter for the Deeks. And the touch ties things up. Crawford steps back to serve. 7th in the ACC for service aces per set. Sends it on over and into the net. A back and forth match, very close. At this point in set 1, it was an 8-3 difference, forcing Coach Smart to call a timeout. As Maruska fires away on that far left side, and she's got it alone. Maruska, coming into tonight's matchup, had 9 kills and 3 digs, and is a transfer from Rice. As the serve sends over. A little bit of a tippy-tap between Charles and Maruska. And the big swing from Murphy on the near side. Great defensive coverage from that front line. Penn sets it up for Keefe as she swings all the way back from that far left corner. And it's a long swing and a strike for Krikovic. Puts the Deeks up by one. Krikovic, described as an awesome player who has a lot of personality and leadership, but not only as a leader on the roster, but within blocks. Everything that we've wanted and more, said coach. She goes on runs, and it's not normal for middles to do that. However, Krikovic defies those norms. As the strike comes from Williams. Sails wide. Deeks up by two. Krikovic with the serve. Originally from Belgrade, Serbia. And it's a long strike from the middle. Riley Cadell. Looking for a touch was Wake, but no good. Point goes towards Duke. Godshaw steps back for the serve. Godshaw, 5th in the ACC for digs per set. Averages 4.13 as she sends it across. Just a little bit too much gas, and it's back and forth points. Demon Deeks find themselves up by two. First time they've had a lead consistently all evening. Did not get to see anything even close to a tie, just within two. In set one, as a little too long of a serve comes across by Bellows. And it's back-to-back service errors. The Blue Devils also participating in the dig pink efforts as they're adorned in their pink socks this evening. Long strike coming from Charles, sails wide. Wake within one. The Manhattan Beach, California native sends it across. And a long swing from Ricks. Maruska runs to the other side, sets up for the serve. Miscommunication on that back line. Godshaw thought she had it. However, it's Ricks and Crawford on the near side corner who popped it right back over for yet another couple of points. Long swing by Goss. Finally finds that open space, and there was a touch on it too. Williams sends it away. Free ball, just a little too much gas off that back line. Gives open space. And Goss is all over that one. Duke keeping things interesting within two. It's the long swing by Crawford. Touch off the top of the fingers. Puts it back within three. Emma Farrell with the serve. Little bit of net action back and forth as she dives, looking for the pancake, just a little too late on the attempt. Coach Smart says, we go as Emma goes, a very integral part of the team. Her second contact is so, so crucial in that defensive specialist position. And is very influential in the way that things go, as we saw it right there. As a free ball gives an opportunity for Richardson to take advantage of it. Back and forth pinball. Richardson once more. She splits her defenders. It was Grikovic in the Charles on slide. Stood no feet for Richardson in her right-handed swing. She averages 2.36 kills per set. And Duke puts it within one. And the soft float serve, a strategic move by servers. Forces a long, hard kill with a quick, light tap. Ties things up. Nearing that medium break timeout. And Wake will be the first one to pull the trigger first. They mark the first. 15-13 as Duke crawled back at one point down by 4, now up by 2. Heavily favoring in this second set. Leading the way for the Blue Devils is Brianna Goss with 7 kills so far as it's sent over in a mishit by Ricks into the net. Widens the score. 16-13. Goss leading the way with 7 kills on 10 attempts, is hitting 600 on the evening. Meanwhile, Paige Crawford with 4 kills for the Deeks. She's tied at the top along with Maruska. As Ricks sends it on over. It's Richardson who finds that back row, and Farrell. It's a quick long tap, but it does the job. Maruska wasn't necessarily sure if that was going to work, but it did the trick. The smart decision by Maruska snaps a 4-0 scoring run, one of many that Duke has found themselves this evening. As Baker sends it on over, finds that far back right corner. It was Williams with that last touch, forcing Richardson to just send it away. And a quick long tap by Santer. And it's a rally from both sides. Keefe back and forth with the defensive line. Does well, and Grikovic gives the tap, and Santer sends it back to that left corner, and the bench erupts and cheers. Quick decision by the Hawaii transfer. In 2024 was the AVCA second team All-American and All Big West first team. She finished her career in the Rainbow State as all-time in dual wins at Hawaii. As Keefe sends it on over. A quick just shove over by Murphy. A long strike from Cadell, no good. On the defensive coverage, puts Duke up by 4. And yet again, forces another timeout to be called for the Demon Deacons. Teams return to the floor. It's been all Duke so far in set 2. As Keefe sets up on that far back left corner for the serve. The play resumes, is a little too far wide, and Wake comes out victorious from the timeout. As Crawford steps back for the serve. 25 service aces for the Deacons. As the long strike sets up for Cadell. And a block at the net between Charles and Grikovic. Stands strong. Crawford once more. Sends it away, targeting that back row. Godshaw receiving it. and it's a long hit by Richardson off the net. Duke scrambles for it. Smart decision by Ricks on the far left side. Splits the defenders off of the forearm of Baker, goes and ricochets off. Wake within one, crawling back into it, digging deep and playing gritty. Baker with the serve. And an uncharacteristic mishit by Mylan Godshaw ties things up. Godshaw, a freshman starter for this Duke squad, goes through the growing pains as described by Coach Nagel. Someone that they know is very good and works a ton during the low times of conference play. She sits in with coaches and has conversation, goes through tape, but works really hard and is quick on her feet and smart with her decisions as she hits the pancake for the floor. Long swing taken by Richardson, and it tips off some of the fingers of Wake as they regain the lead. Richardson takes back for the serve. Finds that far back left row, and it's off of Maruska, not necessarily the serve reception they wanted to see as Duke hits that 20-point mark with a 2-point lead. Richardson once more sends it across. Set up by Baker. And a long swing by Keefe. Quick decision by Murphy on the near side. And it's a Murphy-Rickovich sandwich. Great defensive movement on the slide for that near side pin. You can see it in their facial expressions between Murphy and Rickovich defending the net. As Grikovich sails it away. And a light swing from Williams finds that far back left corner. It was Baker chasing after it. As Godshaw steps back for the serve. She's got 19 service aces so far. And in high school, she was All-County Player of the Year. Long swing by Maruska on the far left side. Runs right into the net. Fellows steps in for the serve. Sends it across, finds that middle back row. Just a little too much gas and some confusion from Charles. Makes it a free ball, sets up on that near side. This hit from Charles turns into an opportunity to tie things up with the serve in favor of the home team. Things are getting interesting here as it's a tied ball game, the fourth tie of the evening. Fourth tie of this set, really. As it's sent away. Godshaw got things under control and a well-placed ball on the near side corner. Got the fingertips of Ricks as Duke regains the lead. Penn, the Boston College transfer, started and played in all 37 games last season, sends it on over. Maruska, nothing but business. She finds that far back right corner and ties it up at 22 apiece. She steps back to serve. At Rice, she ranked 3rd on the team in points. Smart decision by Goss with the light touch. She was set up by Penn. The long swing by Keefe. However, that back corner defended by Ryan. A long swing, and it's the last touch by Crawford. Great effort offensively with a long hit from Crawford. Lots of gas behind it. Forces Duke to call their first time out of the set. It was Crawford who took that far right swing on the far side pin. Covered by Crawford with that far right side swing. Just ricocheted off of the forearms of Godshaw and sent it way over that back line, forcing Duke to call their first time out as Wake Forest hangs on by a thread with the 1-point lead as Maruska steps back to serve. Both teams wanting to finish business. As a quick decision by Keefe, however, it's Charles on the middle coverage. Charles and Crawford side by side, and it's a short dump by Murphy. That's well read. However, Williams with a long quick swing on the right side ties it up at 23 apiece. A smart decision by Williams and a quick arm. As Richardson sends it over, finds that far back left corner of Maruska on the reception. A quick dump over into the net by Ricks. Makes it set point for Wake Forest. Farrell stepping back to serve, both teams taking their time. The crowd up and thumping. Farrell with a few dribbles, puts it in her right hand, sends it on up and over to Godshaw. Over to Keefe. Keefe splits the pair and ties it up. This set's going into extra points for those at home watching. First team to win by 2 takes the set. So at this point, the first team to 26 will ring victorious in set 2. Smart decision by Penn on that far left side. And it's a quick hit by Ricks, but it's into the net. Duke set point. A 2-0 start is what Duke is looking forward to. However, Wake Forest calls their timeout as they want to try and even things up. They have history for back-to-back wins with more than 17 on the season since 2000-2001. And had 8 conference wins for the 2 consecutive years. As the sound of the whistle comes across and Richardson sends it away. Long set, and it's Crawford on the hit. And it goes out of play. Back to a tie ball game. Great back and forth match. Set 2 specifically between both squads. As Baker sets up. Last season, she finished 8th in the ACC with assists per set as she sends it away. It's Keefe with the long swing. However, blocked at the net. Wake Forest within a point to close things off to tie it up at 1 apiece. It was Rickovic and Crawford on the efforts. And it's set point for Wake Forest. Baker puts it across into the net. Was looking for that soft serve, trying to kiss it right over the tape and sends it right into the strings. Tied once again. Keefe with the serve. "17 service aces to her name this season. And it's a long swing by Crawford. Crawford once more on that far left side pin. Keefe pushes it right back over. Big swing taken by Murphy, blocked by Richardson. and a rally at 26 points even. And a long swing by Keefe targets that far back left line. Baker couldn't quickly get up on her feet. Duke's within 1 set point for the Blue Devils. It's a matter of whose errors will come at a less timely manner than the other. As service errors and miscues have prevented either team from closing this out. As it's brought back over. Speak of the Devil shall be summoned as Keefe sends it into the strings. Tied at 27 apiece. Crawford in 2022 was the team leader in total kills and kills per set for the Demon Deacons. And ranked 7th in the ACC for service aces per set, something they desperately need right now. A long swing, and Richardson couldn't necessarily make up for the lack of a touch, and finally, once again, Wake Forest at set point just needs to close it out. And they have exactly who they want with the ball to serve in the best position possible. As Crawford puts it over the net, over to Godshaw. It's Richardson on the swing. She splits her defenders, and it's up and out into the stands. Couldn't necessarily chase after it, tied at 28 apiece once more. Great back and forth efforts. Richardson with a very strategic swing between Crawford and Ricks on the near side pin. Ricocheted off of Baker. Tied it at 28. Richardson with the serve once more. Maruska dumps it on over. However, Richardson on the recovery. Farrell sets up Maruska once more. It was a little bit of an awkward hit. And from the far back row, Richardson sails the ball. Deeks within 1 at 29. Can they finish it off? Sends it across. Someone wanting to finish things off. And it's Williams with the kill. Godshaw for the serve. Rocking the hair bow. In her ponytail, she puts it across. Sails it over that back service line. Wake set point once more. As Bellows steps in, she had 1 service ace last game. Stanford, 3 days. She puts it away. Long swing by Williams. Not a ton of gas on it though. Maruska, a ton of energy and power. Was no match to Penn. All alone on that tape line. Tied at 30 even. An additional 10 points from both teams. Traditionally closed out at 25. We've got lots of extra volleyball as Penn puts it across. Penn 9th in the ACC for service aces as Godshaw sets things up. Keefe with the swing. Maruska with the save of touch, however, Farrell sails it across, keeping the ball alive. Keefe with the long swing, and it's out of play. Farrell was all over it, knowing the miss hit was just a little too long. Wake Forest set point once more. Demon Deacons out of timeouts, Duke with 1 remaining. Both teams still having challenges, could be strategically used. And it's Duke's set point. Long swing by Maruska, evens things up at 31. What else could you ask for? I mean, everybody's having a blast, 31 points apiece. Someone's got to finish it off. Both teams pretty even when it comes to kills, and Duke outweighing the errors. Maruska puts it across. As Keith, just over the tops of the defenders on the near side. Maruska finds that, and it's a fingertip touch from Gottschall. Wake set point. Can they do it at 33? In the final timeout call for the Blue Devils. A ton of back and forth, however. Someone needs to put off of that crowd energy. Meanwhile, it's a Dig Pink game. Breast cancer awareness fundraiser for Wake Forest. And on their home court nonetheless. And it's set point for the Deeks, this time with Maruska, the Houston, Texas native, to sail it away. She finds that back line. And it's a far net, and finally, Miss Q on the near side closes it out for Wake Forest. A 32-31 victory ties things up at 1 apiece. Extra points made things interesting in a very uncharacteristic error from the grad transfer, who's got a ton of ACC experience on top of it. Grace Penn, the Boston College transfer, played and started in all 37 matches, led the team with 852 assists and 25 service aces last season, ranks 9th overall in the conference, and brings a wealth of knowledge for the Blue Devils team. And it was a miscommunication on that very far edge of the net that finally closed things out, as the serve is underway, and finally set 3 starts to take place. It's a long swing by Williams, and Duke comes out on top with the first point. Williams so far this afternoon has 6 kills with 5 errors, hitting just .050 with 8 digs. And the swing, independently by Charles, ties it up at 1 apiece. The bench going a little crazy. Kendall Phillips giving a chest bump with Ryan Baker. The team adorned in pink for the Dig Pink game. As the serve comes across from Maruska. Maruska, the leading point scorer for Wake Forest with 8 kills so far this evening. And a long swing from Charles. Back-to-back kills for her. Makes it a 2-1 lead. Maruska, the Houston, Texas native and transfer from Rice, posted 9 kills last game. She's on pace to break that tonight. And at Rice, she ranked 3rd on the team in points per set, kills per set, digs, and digs per set. What didn't she do for that team as the swing sails wide? And it's a 3-1 lead for the Demon Deeks. She was AAC honor roll in the American and plans to pursue medical school after her volleyball career. She sails it across once more. And Keefe with the long swing finds that far back right corner, but Farrell's got it covered. Keefe once more. She puts it right in front of Bellows. Put a kill to her name. Keefe so far this evening with 7 kills. She's tied for leaderboard with Richardson, Goss, and Williams. Pretty evenly matched. Make it 8 as she leads the night. She's got 6 digs as well, hitting 156 this evening. As Maruska takes the serve reception and the long swing from Crawford gives Richardson a quick opportunity for a one-handed up. And Ricks didn't put a ton of effort onto that one, but finishes things off. Point falls towards the home team. Farrell with the serve in 2022 was named ACC Freshman of the Year, the first Deacon to attain the honor since Christy Williams in 2002. As Duke puts it within 1. Keefe hops over the service line, finds that far back right corner. And it's Ricks with the long wide. They want a touch. Don't get it. Duke ties it up. I think Ricks was looking for a touch from Richardson on that front line as the sound of the whistle blows. A challenge that rings true. There was enough evidence to overturn that there was indeed a touch on that far back left corner from Richardson as Baker steps back for the serve. She sends it away, finds Godshaw on that far back row. Grikovic with the swing. Richardson splits the defenders and she puts the arrow back in favor of the blue and whites. It was Grikovic and Murphy on the slide coverage on the near side, on the far side pin. Lots of scoring runs for Duke in that first set, and then it's been a ping pong battle since then as Richardson puts it away. Long swing from Crawford. She's got it. Wake back up by 2. A couple of rotations coming on. Crawford's kill assisted by Ryan Baker, the junior setter from Rolling Meadows, Illinois. As the serve comes across. And it's a quick dump decision by Penn, but great middle coverage by Farrell. Quick tip of the fingers over from Murphy. And it's a pancake effort from Farrell, and it works. Maruska on the far left side. Ball is ricocheting back and forth. Williams with the last touch, she's got the kill. A little bit of broken plays and ricocheted balls didn't stop Williams on that effort as Goss sends it on home. Quick offensive decision by Maruska. 2 touches. Signal puts Wake back up by 2. Grikovic, the Rutgers transfer, sends it on home. And the long swing by Williams finds that back line. Crawford on the efforts, no good. Williams and Richardson duking it out for first place on total kills for the evening. That's Williams' 9th, as she's got 8 digs, close to a double-double. As Keefe sends it across. Quick touch by Charles and Maruska on the far side pin. And that blocking identity ringing true so far this evening. Bellows with the serve. It's Williams on the swing. And a look of confusion from Maruska. They signal a lift from the outside hitter. Puts it back within 1. Maruska once more. Wasn't necessarily able to get the best angle on it. She just hit it off the top of her palm. On the far side of Ricks, off the side of the tape. 4 touches. Duke ties things up. Taking a look at the schedule ahead for the Blue Devils. They stay on the road for a regional matchup against NC State, then travel up to Charlottesville to take on the Hoos. on October 18th, and then up to Virginia Tech on the 20th to end their road stand. Punch over from Tiffany Pullman, her first appearance of the evening. The Appleton, Wisconsin native, a Green Bay transfer. She hails as Duke's first doctoral candidate as she begins work on a PhD in marine science and conservation. She's actually a TA for one of the beginner classes held at Duke. And man, was Coach Nagel so excited to have someone so bright and so strong on the leadership as that one sent into the net. Tied up at 9. The maturity level that Pullman brings to the squad is one that is unmatched. She was a beast in the Horizon League as she was first team All-Horizon League and All-Horizon League tournament team and finished second on the season with total blocks of 96 at Green Bay. Crawford with the kill. The transfer portal is something that both teams are grateful to have taken advantage of, considering players like Pullman and Penn have been additions to this Duke roster. Meanwhile, 4 transfers on the roster for Wake Forest as the swing hits. And once again, Crawford takes her shot no good into the strings. First game of 2 this weekend for the Demon Deacs, hosting Duke tonight. And in addition to that, they're hosting Chapel Hill on Sunday afternoon for a 3:30 p.m. matinee matchup, as it's Richardson on the swing. Again, Crawford on that near side. She gets split along with Grikovic. Not enough defensive coverage. This time, Penn and Goss on the efforts. Duke finally having their first lead for the first time in a long time. Slap of the volleyball and it's sent over. And Crawford regains the storyline, ties it up at 11 apiece. As the serve comes across, goes long. Their 9th service error overall, 5 service errors total in that second set for Wake. As it comes across from Keefe. And little touches here and there, ties it back up. A total of 29 errors altogether for Duke, 7 of which from the service line. And it's another ace. Crawford with the serve. Taps the touch of the tape. And a nice setup from Farrell for her middles. Another strike by Crawford. And it's a long hit off the top of Grikovic's fingers. They get the touch. $13 all. As the refs want to double check that one, both teams congregate. Conversation at Little Dakes. As the results are deemed inconclusive, And it looks like we're back to playing volleyball with Williams setting up behind the line for the serve. Still conversation to be had from the assistant coaching bench. And the sound of the whistle finally deems true as Goss brings it on home. It's a soft serve, kisses the top of the tape. However, Grikovic with the kill. Wake Forest regains their lead. And Grikovic with the kill as she steps back and puts it on over. A long serve that finds that far back right corner with Williams. Sails right back home. Maruska on the near side. And a quick top over by Pullman. Another nice fast decision on the line by Baker. And a broken play and miscommunication forces 4 touches. It was between Charles and Murphy. Tied at 14. Grace Penn to serve, the Manhattan Beach, California native, at 19 assists last game with 1 service ace. As that sails across the back line. The 8th service error of the evening for Duke. Sets in 1 and 2, 25-23, and then 31 and 33 going into extra points for set 2. The Deeks hitting 200 in this current set with 10 kills and 4 errors overall. Meanwhile, Duke hitting 174 in set 3 with 6 kills and 2 errors on 23 attempts. 5 assists overall with 13 digs total. As the second half of the set is underway, and it's a service error. It was just on that back line. Becca Bellows straddling that far end service line. And it's Williams with the serve. Back-to-back points for Duke. As Maruska tried to get a piece of it, no good. Williams with the serve once more. She sends it across. The freshman getting a ton of playing time and being a crucial part to the offense. As Gottschall settles things down. However, Richardson wasn't able to get a high enough pass. It's a free ball opportunity. Couldn't make anything of it by Crawford. And a quick touch by Ricks. However, great offensive coverage. Maruska on the near side pin, and she finishes it off. Wait with a 2-point cushion. Tied at 1 apiece this evening. As Maruska stalls a little bit, waiting for the signal. And she puts it across. Touches that top of the net. Such a great way of placing that set as she dolphin dives across to keep that ball in play. Keefe with the light touch. Again, Maruska, what can't she do? As Crawford just bumps it right back over. Great defensive coverage on that net side. However, Pullman takes advantage of the free ball. Pullman, one of the many players that can just step in and rise to the occasion. Giving credit to the depth, something that Coach Nagel mentioned is such a strong suit and part of the team identity this season is the ability to rotate players in when it needs to be done. No one takes it personally, they just want to finish the job. As that was Tiffany's first kill of the evening. Gottschall with motion to serve, and she puts it across. A great placement in that far back left corner. right off of the forearms of Maruska. She's got an ace. Godshaw once more. Tied at 17 apiece. Crawford with the light tap. Keefe, back-to-back ideas. And it's Farrell who slows things down with the free ball across. Long hit by Goss into that back row to Maruska. Maruska once more from the back middle. What a great effort from Gottschall to keep things alive. And a long swing by Ricks. They wanted the touch, no good. Regardless, fantastic efforts from both sides. Duke comes out with the top. And they force a timeout by Wake. 18-17 as the Blue Devils regain the lead. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets topped the Virginia Hokies 3 and out. Meanwhile, UNC and Chapel Hill and NC State still going at it in the middle of that third set. Virginia tops Clemson with a 3-0 sweep as well at Clemson. Notre Dame just about to take things into a fourth set against Miami. Tied at 2, Notre Dame up 2-1 overall. Boston College waiting to get things underway with Cal. And Stanford and Syracuse looking to get started as well as play resumes coming out of the timeout. And a big swing from Keefe. But the back defensive line gets things under control. Crawford on the effort. And Penn forced to just put it across. What a nice free ball opportunity. Crawford with yet another soft touch. Lots of soft touches as a big dig by Bellows goes wayside. Wake up by 2. It's the first to 20 really on who can hammer it home as Godshaw steps back. It's a 3-0 scoring run for Duke, their first time in a long time, putting more than a couple of points back to back as Crawford has a touch. Great efforts by Farrell on that back row. Long swing by Ricks. Keefe on the near side. Ricks again. She finds the back row. Grace Penn with the dig. Keefe sets up. She's got one hand, but it does not match. Crawford and Murphy on the near side. Wake back within 1. As a little bit of a conversation between Penn and the net judge underway. Bellows conversing along with Randy Smart across the court. Back and forth conversations between Penn and that up ref. Meanwhile, Nagel and the down far side referee having a conversation of their own. Not sure what's being debated. Looking for an explanation as to that last point. Great communicator from Penn. Lots of experience that she comes in. 4 years spent in the ACC as she transferred within the conference from Boston College to Duke. As Farrell sends it across with the float. Keefe with the strike. She splits the defenders. Add a point to her name this evening as Duke hits the 20-point mark. And a long serve by Keefe. Puts it back within 1. Once more. It's It's Crawford with, once again, a light touch. A lot of movement from her on that near side pin, but hasn't had a lot of power as Duke comes away with that point. They're at 22. Richardson with the serve. She finds the back row. Maruska holding it down. Swing from Murphy on the edge. As Penn sets it wide. A long, big swing from Murphy. Kisses that back right corner. Just a little too much gas. And yet another timeout forced by Wake Forest, getting inside of their own heads a little bit. First team to spend both of them, as Duke is with farther tonight, is Crawford with 10 kills. And Maruska quickly behind her. She's just about at a double-double. She's got 9 kills and 10 digs overall. Then Layla Ricks with 6. Maruska holding back down that back line. She's been everything and more for that squad this evening. Meanwhile, Godshaw has been holding down the back line. And play continues. Richardson with the serve. Big swing by Crawford. Finally a characteristic look as she's taken a lot of light touches thus far. A quick dump over by Grikovic, unsuccessful. She's at the block. Williams on the swing, kisses that back left line. And it's set point for the Blue Devils. No one was in the area on that back right corner. As Richardson looks to put this one away. She sends it across. It's Farrell. Crawford with a light touch once more. A long swing by Richardson, a little too far back onto that row, sends it into the strings. Crawford comes into this evening with 2.48 kills per set as she stands behind the service line. Hitting .093 this overall with 10 kills tonight. She's got 2 service aces. And it's Williams on that far back right corner. And a late pancake effort closes things off. Duke's got it 25-19. Coming to you from Reynolds Gymnasium in Winston-Salem. The Dig Pink game on this wonderful Friday night afternoon. There was a carnival fair, something along those lines going on across the street. It's a busy weekend here on campus. As Grace Penn steps back to start off set 4 with the serve. Penn, the transfer from Boston College, continues to work hard, said Coach Nagel, and is constantly watching film. She's taking advantage of her last season in collegiate volleyball and is absolutely competitive. She was a little bit anxious when they played Boston College on the road. However, Grace Penn, an absolute stud in wealth of knowledge for this Blue Devils team. Her 5th and final season in conference play as the first kill of set 4 goes to Carrie Keefe, the Pacific Palisades, California native. Puts Duke up at the start of the 4th frame. Duke leads 2-1. It's a best-of-5 match. Could be the final frame if they can close it on off. As the serve comes across from Penn once more. However, a miscommunication on that near side slide is an opportunity for Crawford to take advantage of it. Tied at 1 apiece. Farrell with the serve. Farrell so far this evening, 13 digs with 6 assists. As it's a free ball opportunity and Crawford eats it up. Back-to-back points. Crawford with 12 kills of the evening. With With only 6 errors, she's hitting 133 on 45 attempts. As Farrell floats it across. Long swing by Williams. Finds that far back left corner and ties up the ball game. Williams was 3rd best on her team and co-player of the year, earned the 4th best state ranking by Prep Dig California before she came to Duke. As the swing goes wide from Ricks, and the Blue Devils find themselves up by 1. Williams once more sends it across. Finds that far back left corner as her spot. Penn to Keefe. Maruska on the dig. Little bit of action. Grikovic just pops it right back on over, and it's Richardson who splits the defense. Ricks and Grikovic on the near side pins as the first timeout is called of set 4. Not though, she's very smart and she absolutely adores the team. She thinks that all of the pieces that have been gathered in, additionally the 4 from the transfer portal, have been fortunate, and she's honored to have them on her squad, considering that they're just now getting into knowing each other and really feeding off of one another's personalities. As the serve comes across from Richardson, and it's Keefe with the solo kill. A 5-2 lead, all blue and white. An exciting second set. However, Wake has yet to truly put together a scoring run as Duke has figured it out once more, 3-0 so far. As the long swing comes from Crawford, and it's Keefe on the block. Falls waist side, point in favor of the home team. Baker with the serve, sends it across, finds that far back right corner of the row. And it's a long swing by Richardson. Quick tap over and dump by Crawford, but it's kept in the air. A long swing by Keefe. Keefe taking charge of set 4. Her 13th kill of the night. She's got a double-double with 11 digs, hitting 140 overall. And Godshaw with the serve. Set up for the solo kill by Grikovic, an absolutely necessary point to put it back within 2. The Rutgers transfer is pursuing her master's degree in sustainability in business, data analytics, and supply chain management. As Crawford is back behind the service line. Free ball opportunity, just a little too much gas, but Richardson was able to keep it under control. A long swing by Grikovic, not necessarily enough power behind it. Falls waist side and behind her attacking line. A miscue that Duke takes advantage of once more. Keefe in her freshman campaign was all ACC freshman team as well. A long swing by Maruska is met by the match on that far side corner. It's Penn and Richardson. A tough block to get past. Keefe with the serve once more, puts it into the strings with the service error. The 10th for the team overall. And Wake back within 3. Duke leads this match overall 2-1. Finished things off 25-23, and then it was extra points in set 2, and again, first to 20 in set 3 as another mistouch by Duke keeps that serve in favor of the home squad. Wake back within 2. And with the serve is Grikovic. She finds Godshaw. A long swing that goes wayside. Call it 3 in a row. An error from Richardson puts it within 1. Slowing things down is Grikovic. The graduate student has a ton of experience in Power 4 volleyball coming from the Big Ten Conference. As the long swing from Crawford goes wayside. Kalani Willock makes her first appearance of the evening. She's only played in a few sets, the Kaler, Texas native, a senior, and the recipient of the Heather Holmes Award that was presented to her pregame. As the quick dump over from Maruska is unsuccessful, but it's an awkward hit from Williams on the near side. Again, Maruska up against 2 on that slide. Penn sets up Goss and falls long. Back within 1. Wake Forest digging deep once more. A similar start to how set 3 finished off for Duke. They were behind before that 15-point mark. And then all of a sudden, the Blue Devils came back raining. Once they had the lead, they never lost it. As the long swing from Williams goes long. Both teams cheered, but the point was in favor of Duke. Godshaw steps off. She's subbed in by Pullman. Maruska really wanting that quick dump on the near side at the tape lines. Ricks on the near side. Williams again with a soft touch. Can't keep the ball in the air. Another kill for Richardson. And the sound of the whistle with an error gives Wake a much needed point, back within 2. Sophomore Elena Dragani made her first appearance of the evening. The Brookfield, Wisconsin native saw a little bit of action last season in addition to a little bit of action this season. Had a few moments on the floor. As the swing from Crawford goes wide. Make it 26 attack errors even for both sides this evening. Wake currently hitting at .089 as a team overall. As it's a quick move by Ricks. This long swing by Keefe off of the forearms of Dragani. And just a little bit of back and forth. Once the Demon Deacs really find themselves in a good place to tie things up and take the lead, it's missed hits and errors and swings and poor decisions that have just been costly. Over on that side, Ricks came out successful with a quick poke. Puts it back within 3. But nonetheless, equal amount of errors for both teams. But Duke leading the way with a difference of 9 kills total this evening. As Pullman looked to wind up for a swing and pops it right back over. It's Crawford with the long swing. She finds Godshaw in the back row. And a great defensive coverage between Ricks and Grokovic with the block. Back within 1 for Wake. Again, blocking is part of that team identity. for the Deeks as they're within 2. It's Farrell with the soft serve. Godshaw easily sets up for that one. Richardson with a quick touch. However, Barrow ricochets that ball off of her forearms, and the Demon Deeks are right where they want to be. Christina Barrow, 5'8", junior from Fayetteville, Georgia, played in 27 matches last season. Was 4th on the team with 24 aces and was named ACC Top 6 Service Award, which is given to a player who's a standout stud on their squad. And defensive coverage at the line ties things up. Leave it to Crawford and Grikovic on that edge to make it a 13-all. Wake Forest finds themselves on a 4-0 scoring run. Wanting that lead, it's a soft serve right over the net. Godshaw got a piece of it, and it's Williams with the long swing. Breaks the scoring run, and Duke hangs on by a thread. Williams, during high school, led her team to a Nike Tournament of Champions Southwest Platinum Bracket Championship title game and earned 4th best state rankings as the serve goes long. Tied at 14 apiece. Lots of subs coming on. Dragani steps off and Santer pops into her place. And at the line is Bellows. Serve comes across, goes way long. Back-to-back service errors. Make that a total of 22 on the evening for both squads. 11 all on service errors for either team. Wake Forest definitely out-blocking Duke, 16-7 in that category. And a long defensive save, but it's 4 touches. A great effort by Baker as she just dove in wanting the pancake. Farrell was able to get a hand on it, but not high enough. They really thought it was gonna go over that tape line, but it kissed the edge and stayed in place. 4 touches. Duke back up on 2. Strong serve from Godshaw. And the response coming from Crawford as she steps back to the service line. Makes up for the reception error she had on that last point. Crawford with the swing, finds the far back right corner. And it's Richardson who splits the defenders. Back within 2. Keefe's mother also played at Stanford, in addition to her sister as her serve goes long. The Pacific Palisades, California family is all about the Cardinal, as she is the outlier of the bunch, picking Duke for her Division I endeavors. Brother played baseball at Stanford as well. Her father is the director of athletics for the Cardinal. As a long swing from Richardson, has no fear for that corner defense. The blocks coming in clutch when it's needed the most, tied at 17 apiece. Brand new ball game, and all of the momentum in favor of the home squad. Baker with the serve, soft to Godshaw. And it's a long swing by Goss, not a ton of power behind it though. Crawford with the touch. Free ball, great effort from Dragani. And the effort's on the front line, rang true. Santer in addition to Grikovic. And Wake Forest regains the lead for the first time in a long time, up by 1. and it forces a timeout for Duke, their first one of the match, or their first one of the set. And a very well-timed one at that, a 3-0 scoring run for the Demon Deeks, considering that they lead that stat category. A very heavy difference. However, these service errors and overall attacking errors have been the name of the game back and forth in those efforts. But Wake leading by 11 blocks at the line as the serve comes across from Baker, and we are underway once more. Maruska on the far side. And it's an opportunity that Goss takes advantage of. Tied ball game, and the timeout works for Duke. Coming out of that, breaks the 3-0 scoring run. Another back and forth match. Very similar storyline that we saw in set 2. 14 extra points altogether, a 33-31 finish. As a little bit of conversing is going on for the home bench. Randy Smart having a few words with Charles as they dump, but Godshaw on the recovery. It's a free ball across the net. Maruska once more winds up and swings, but she's long. A good decision, but just a little too much power on that right-handed swing. Intended for the back right corner, no good. As the serve comes across and goes over the back line, trading points back and forth once more. Dragane steps back onto the floor. She takes Santa's place. Dragane with the serve. She puts it across. Keefe on the reception. Winds up for Williams. A broken play, but Maruska takes advantage of it, and she's outside of the antennas. It's the first antenna infraction we've seen this evening, and it's a new rule that you can't play outside of it when you go to take the swing. In addition to rule changes this season, teams can dress 2 liberos. You see it on the Duke roster. In addition to Godshaw is also Sydney Tomlak, the junior defensive specialist, saw action in 14 matches last season. And a swing comes from Charles. And a long swing back and forth. This time Williams reigns supreme. Tied at 20 apiece. So a few changes here and there. Teams taking the liberty of using that second libero to their advantage or not. In Duke's case, it gives that defensive specialist some relief. However, Godshaw been playing lights out so far. A lot of growing pains as an ace is put to the stat line for Maruska. Her 10th point of the evening. That makes it a double-double. Her first service ace of the night as well. As she's back at it, she finds Godshaw in the far back right corner. It's a long swing by Pullman. Off the bench. The Horizon League transfer with a powerful swing to tie it up at 21 all as Penn sends it across. A long swing by Charles and a great reception by that back line. Solid pancake effort by Farrell. It's a free ball. Williams with the swing. And it falls wayside. Touched by the Deeks. Duke regains their lead. Forces a timeout by Wake Forest. Trading point deep, especially within the pins, and it improves itself within the stat line, something that head coach Nagel mentioned in the pregame conversation as the service put away. Keefe with the quick dump onto the far left side. She went to the opposite direction, finds the open space. Makes it a 2-point lead for the Blue Devils. Dragani read it a little too late. She wanted the pancake and it was burned. Penn on the serve once more. Last minute decision by Ricks. Keefe with the long swing. Flies right past Farrell and Maruska. And it's match point for Duke. The Blue Devils have just been so dominant with 3 players in the double-double stat line. Duke came out on top in that first set and now look to finish things off on the road. Could have been a missed hit from Crawford as she sails it back and it kisses the line. Line judge says that ball was in. Still match point for the Blue Devils. However, Farrell steps up for the serve. Debating on the touch in the back. Didn't necessarily get to see it. However, the motion from that back right corner judge said otherwise. Match A, hit the road at Duke once more, and then top things off on November 29th to finish things versus Florida State. Again, Duke match point, 24-22 as the serve comes across. And it's Pullman who splits the difference, and the ground transfer finishes it off. Duke, a 3-1 match victory on the road, comes out victorious. And it's Tiffany Pullman